You promise we'll get more views if we make thumbnails? We have to make a meme? No, we don't do googly-eyed thumbnails here, Pika. Pre-recorded live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals from our Boston studios. It is, once again, it's time for the Comics Coffee Table. That's right. Pull up a chair, sit down beside us, bring a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today there, pal. Indeed. There we go. Guatemalan Huehue Tanago. One of my favorite coffee beans. A medium roast, freshly roasted. If you there's a radio button in my banner on the homepage. They deliver. Just saying. Not a paid spot. I'm a paying customer. It's like my comic book collection. I like reading monthly floppies over trade paperbacks anytime. Trades have their point. Yeah, I mean, you have trades, you need them, but I would just, guess what? I prefer the floppy, a readable copy of a floppy. Dun, 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 dun. I smell a song coming on. Dun, 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 dun. Up on the high seas. I don't read pirated comics. I don't. Oh my goodness, that's a fresh cup of hot coffee. That's really, really good. I'm enthused! Here at the Comics Coffee Table, we like to... there is a truck backing up in my kitchen. No, there's a... someone has a timer on the stove. I was going to say, hey, Pika, is there a truck backing up in our kitchen? Well, apparently so. If you can hear that, you probably can. It's a great mic. And for YouTube creators at home, looking to do this at home too, the best advice I could give being a YouTube creator is the advice I received from the magical, mysterious, and magnificent Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic. Get yourself a really good microphone, a decent webcam, and just find something to talk about. That's basically it. Distilled, not an exact quote, but some of the best, one of the best advices I've received on the subject. And so I got a blue Yeti. Last time I pulled the mic into the frame, it ruined the audio for the rest of the show, and I didn't even know until I'm watching the rebroadcast out there with you, 3 o'clock U.S. daily. Why don't you hit that subscribe button and never miss an episode? Well, that's just daily. I mean, I'm blessed and grateful to see all these people in the live chat, all these now familiar faces and voices, and all the new people. Please pull up a chair. We're taking a break from the real world. We're leaving it over there for a couple of minutes. We're pulling up a chair to our coffee table. We're taking a break. We're hanging out with each other for a couple of minutes in our busy, stressful day. And we're going to, take our minds off our minds by talking about comic books for a couple of minutes. Just once a day, every day. And I think that goes a pretty long way. I smell a song coming on. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't you do it, Pika. Don't you start singing. Bless your beautiful hide. Prepare to bend your knee. We ain't met yet, but I'm a-willing to bet you're the gal for me. Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of happy going on today. I don't know why. I'm enthused. I got a lot of energy. We're talking about comic books. And with the point, and if you're a new viewer tuning in for the first time, I want you to know that I am reboxing, reboarding, rebagging my entire collection. And along the way, I am getting a better sense of grading my comics. I'm getting a value, the overall value of these comics. I'm giving myself a ballpark estimate of what my comic book collection is worth. Don't you want to know? For the most part, if they're a 9.2 at a near mint, they will keep their cover price. That's pretty much what I've gleaned from my second year with the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, of which I will get again and again and again for the rest of my existence as a comic book connoisseur and aficionado. This is true. Yeah, so I got links to both of these publications in the description to its Amazon page where you can get your own copy and play along at home. I get my comic supplies, nonetheless, at my local comic book shop. The point of my show is to get you to go back to your local comic book shop and not only get new releases, trade paperbacks, and other gifts and sundries and items, but get your long boxes. I'm getting short boxes now. And get bags. And what I should have been doing the entire time, getting acid-free boards and using them. The main thing that my collection suffers from and takes the value away from their 10-point grading scale would be spine roll. And if I had used backing boards the entire time, I wouldn't be suffering the whole spine roll issue I've got. Issues. We have issues and we put them into boxes. We put our issues into little boxes. This is a metaphor for our mental and emotional health, is it not? Well, guess what? Those are all stories too. We shouldn't really take our stories. We should bag them, board them, and box them, and then get on with living life. We read them, we review them, we cherish them, we celebrate them. I don't know. There's no metaphor there. I don't have a mental health angle here besides if you're suffering, check in with your doctor, get a referral, talk to somebody. It's worked for me in the past. I'm a spiritual guy too. So one thing I noticed that in therapy that didn't cover was your spirit, your chi, your fighting spirit. It appears that all animals have fight. I think fight is an essential ingredient for not just the human experience, but the animal or maybe even consciousness. Fight is a huge component of life. Fighting for your life, fighting for someone's life, fighting for your rights. Your survival instinct when it kicks in. Everyone remembers that issue of Why the Last Man when he was suffering from all this post-depression, syndrome, traumatic stuff. It was very traumatic for Yorick to be the last man on Earth, huh? But what was her name? 744. It's been a long time since I've read this wonderful Vertigo book of the early 20th century. That I was tuned in from issue 1. That was a good experience, a wonderful time. That second age of Vertigo in the early 21st century. But yeah, York getting over his ideations, as one could say, by having his survival instinct take over. So fight, it's a big part of of being a human, and it's also a big theme of our comic books, our superhero comic books. Because darn well when we say comic books, 75% of that mind space and automatic presumption goes to the big 2 superhero stories, which now have little other bubbles under it, like one of those corporate maps. You have 2 big bubbles, and then you have medium bubbles like Spawn and Kick-Ass, Kingsman, Eggsy, stuff like that. Mark Millar just shared some Pepe Larraz art from Big Game, and it's Eggsy and Hit Girl on the job. In 2 panels and 2 sequential. I'm excited. I'm enthused. Sign me up. Mark Millar, take my money. Image Comics, please. I'm sorry, Warren. I said I was not going to buy any Image Comics until they lifted that ridiculous Warren Ellis embargo thingy. I'm sorry, Warren. I couldn't help it. New Funny Book Day, the way they smell when you open them. The way they feel, these stories of ours. Oh, I'm sorry, Warren. Wilson! And remember at all times that this show is for entertainment purposes only. And if you have any serious questions about the condition, quality, or value of your floppies, please bring them to your local comic book shop and ask questions there to be professionally evaluated. This show is for educational purposes and entertainment only. So if you go into a funny book bodega and say, hey, Sully says I can get $25 for this. Sully said so. Sully did not say so. Okay? You local comic book shop, stop calling my mom with this Sully Says stuff, please. All right, let's get to some bagging, boarding, and boxing. That's the whole point of this show. Kinda. I mean, if you've been watching the show, you know how important the reboarding, reboxing, rebagging actually is. It's more about, like, I'm making a judgment call on these bags. See, I know that Mylites and Mylar bags are superior and what used for long time storage. The polypropylene. Let's do it again, Sully. Polypropylene. Polypropylene. I miss you. You are in the bag. But the polypropylenes are meant to be replaced annually. Now I can understand that on the stock exchange that a durable good has to last at least 1 year, 365 days, and that goes from a polypropylene bag to an automobile and a refrigerator. Other than their non-durable goods are like consumables and periodicals and stuff like that, I guess. And two different. I read a book. I'm a high school grad, a college dropout. I had a lot of fun that year. A lot of fun. Too much fun. But the whole thing of rebagging, I'm making a judgment call. And it's more of like, let's get a board in that Funnybooks snug stat. So that's more of like, I'll make the judgment call if I feel the bag needs changing, I'll change it. Some of the bags, you can feel it. They've got a real feel. They feel brittle. They feel as if they've not just lost their luster, that they've served their purpose, and that they need a new bag. They're asking you to be retired. I make no jokes about work on this channel. I'm not going to. I think it's I'd rather talk about something stupid like myself. I'll get more and more mileage out of that than to bring up anything at work. You shouldn't, we all sign. Here's a good thing for YouTube creators as well, and anyone on social media. Keep it personal or keep it light, and because if you talk about, we all sign social media things annually at work, so we have to watch what we say, online, or even the pictures we post or videos. I post videos. I'm a chef. I make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food. You should check out these videos. Like and subscribe, and you'll catch my cooking shorts. And I am trying to turn you on to making beautiful food at home. But I do it professionally at work. And so I love showing off what we do and what I do and how it's done as well. But, there's a line there. You need to be very careful of what you share when it comes to your work space. Hey, maybe comic book professionals can learn a thing or two about that. I love comic pros. I do, but social media for comics is a nightmare. And that's part of the reason why I want to be the Bob Ross of YouTube comic book content creators. I want to make some evergreen content that just brings people together. Sure, we can talk about things here and there. Not so outragey, but, let's get to the comic books and draw some happy little trees. I'd rather smoke them, to be honest. To quote Twin Peaks, this is a damn good cup of coffee. That is a damn good cup of coffee. We're going back to the image box. Yes! Well, as I was talking about The Walking Dead the other day and how and thank you guys for your support and it's good to see all, I'm liking that this place is turning into a refuge for parents that need a couple of minutes a day to take their minds off their minds and talk about their hobby, comic books, our hobby. And that I'm glad that, to all the parents out there, you have the toughest job in the world. God bless you. Namaste and thank you. Keep on going. I work with, to be every woman I work with I'll get that, like, they're a working mom, and so we're blessed to have good jobs with good hours that everyone can take care of their kids. And a couple of these people are single moms, and they need our prayers, and they need our support, and life shouldn't be so hard for working mothers and working parents. I mean, if you're blessed to have a 2-parent home, where that can be a struggle on of its own. But I came from a 1-parent home, and it works. It does. It all works out in the end, hopefully, But at the time, when the child is a child and in school and has needs, and sometimes special needs, it can be quite a challenge. It must be so stressful. I mean, I had asthma as a kid, and I was a little, I would probably have been diagnosed with maybe a deficiency in attention, and also probably a little on the trauma scale too. I guess, so the older I get, the more, like I say to my mom, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." So I see a lot of the struggle of these moms, and just God bless you all, and the dads. Thank goodness for dads. And then there's everyone else in between, and these new 21st century people that are popping up every day. It's like, hey, these are 21st century problems. Let there be 21st century solutions. And let's get to Mars too while we're at it. If I want to go to Mars. I don't want to die on Mars. I want to live on Mars. Blah, blah, blah. Speaking of Mark Millar, Kick-Ass. This is the second printing issue variant of the Kick-Ass 3 by John Romita Jr. Evil Prevails. Is that what it's supposed to be? Wow, let's check out. I wonder if that one. Because sometimes second printings are worth. Let's look at the book. To the book. I'm sorry. I just fell down a rabbit hole. Thank you, Pika. I mean, just links, and we're looking up stuff. And okay, so the icon books are mixed in with the image books, of course. So why not? So that's Icon, Millar World. This is Kick-Ass 3. What is Icon Comics to begin with? Well, first of all, it doesn't say. I think it's just, it would have kept its cover price if it didn't have all this. Oh, you get it. Dings! We've got spine roll, it's multiplying, and I'm losing control. Wait a second. That's already been written? Ah, Pika. Yeah, that's a lot of dings. Material content. Yeah, basically Marvel Comics. What is Icon Comics? Okay, we were talking about Image Comics because the nature of Image Comics, that it was a publisher for different studios, and the studios everyone owned their own IPs, and so let's see, Icon Comics. I'm reading this, you guessed it, from the wiki. That's right, Icon Comics is an imprint of Marvel Comics for creator-owned titles designed to keep select A-list creators producing for Marvel, rather than seeing them take creator-owned work to other publishers. It's like it was an incentive. It was founded in 2004, but it's been defunct since 2017. Its owner is the Walt Disney Company and Marvel Comics. It was launched in 2004 with Michael Avon Oeming? How do I pronounce? Is that how I pronounce his name? And Brian Michael Bendis' superhero detective series Powers, and David Max Kabuki moving to the imprint, both from Image Comics. Powers was a great comic. I don't know what. I don't think I have any Powers in here because I think my Powers was consolidated with another friend's collection, and they moved, and I petered out on Powers. Powers was fun. Powers was even adapted into a TV show for a season or so. Oh my God, Powers was amazing. We should talk about. Let's put a, as my therapist used to say to me, let's put a pin in that and move on to something else. They didn't quite sound like that, but you know, you're going for something, you know. All right, let's look. So was this? This was Image. Okay, so Chrononauts was Image, and Chrononauts definitely needs a board. Okay, more icon. This is Empress. Mark Millar. I will always probably call him Mark Millar. It's Mark Miller. Miller time. And where did the whole Millar thing come from? I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I should ask him myself. He's a really accessible individual on Twitter. He's retweeted me a few times and interacted with me a few times. As of last week, too. I missed the Ambassadors #2. And because he asked, has anyone missed Ambassadors 2? It's going to a second printing. I'm like, I did. And he was like, you didn't pre-order. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll be better. It was a nice, funny moment because he gave the little heart, you know, the like that we all, the serotonin that doesn't exist or something, or that, or the silly Sully. Oh boy, whatever shall we do with you? Okay, here's one. This was developed into a TV show starring, I believe, Chris Maloney. This is Happy on Image by Grant Morrison and Derek Robertson. Grant Morrison is one of, you know, you should check out also if you can, my friend Wakazashi's Tea House, Gray. An Englishman from Manchester, UK, living in Japan 20 years now, with his family, and wonderful individual, and I'm so blessed to be his friend. And he's got his own comic book content, quite similar to this. I like to call him my brother station, because we share the same spirit of, you know, positivity with with not backing, without being a pussy. But there's nothing wrong with pussy. In fact, blah, blah, woof, woof, yakety, schmackety, all down the line. Happy. Let's look this up in the book. Look it up in the book. I've got all 4 issues of this. It was really gruesome. That's the whole point of it, though. It was about I have to look up Happy. Happy is a detective novel of a sad sack. A guy that has to go looking for his own kidnapped daughter, and it's I don't think it's not. It wasn't very fun. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V. Happy Rabbit. Happy Days, Happy Holidays. Toby Wong, Toby Chu. Here we go. $5 each. All right, at a 9.5, and 9.2 at a near mint. They'll be worth $5 each. So, well, that's that then. But great art. Yeah, it's like this, and so the whole conceit is he's his daughter's imaginary friend, this little blue horse with wings, kind of comes to life, but is shared that he can see his daughter's imaginary friend, and he needs to just this blue unicorn, a punicorn, part Pegasus, part unicorn, and he's like, you got to go help save your daughter. I mean, like I can see you, you're real, kind of thing. But he's not. Is it magic? I don't know. I didn't really care that much. I do know that I've got all 4 issues of this. Yeah, and it just, this is 10 years old. Yeah, We've got house ads in the back. We've got Emerald City Comic Con. I wouldn't, I shouldn't say this, but I mean, like, I don't want to go to Seattle. I don't like to travel much. I do like going to other cities, though. I mean, eventually, I'm going to check out Dragon Con in Atlanta. I mean, I have friends down there, and I have friends going there. I was going to go this year, but it's just, I would rather just do, I'm going to do something else this summer. I'm taking the summer off, to be honest. Not of content creating, but yeah, see there's like a deranged lunatic dressed up as Santa kidnapping children, and it's not a really fun story. I mean, it's just, yeah. You could have put a board in those. We're not there yet. Now, I don't even remember. Look at this. Is this 6 issues long? More Millarverse stuff. This is on Image. Yeah, Millar World. See, wow, look at that. A blank. You could have sold ad space here. Okay, a house ad, any kind of ad. No ads, just blank space. I don't even remember what this story was about. I mean, seriously. But these are just Mark Miller would do these wonderful 6-issue. He just cranks out stories. He's a writer. He's got a vibrant imagination. He keeps it he just keeps it digest. He just actually the spine on this is pretty good. There are some dings, of course. It's a little bit of the usual spine roll. A couple of cracks, but this thing's in really good condition. Nice tight corners. I've barely read it. I mean, it's about a superhero who like the reluctant superhero. So once again, it's kind of like maybe it's a bit more Clark Kent than it is Kal-El, But let's look at the Indicia colophon. Why don't we? Turkey's done. This is November 2015. And I wonder if this is getting adapted into a Netflix show. But the thing about these ones, I think what sold it for me, I guess, was not only was Mark Miller, because Mark Miller, I definitely follow writers and artists too, but writers, I guess, more, I was big into Bendis for a while. I mean, who wasn't? Bendis was everywhere, and he was really good for a long time. Like Powers, like Torso, Jinx, Marvel Knights Alias, Marvel Knights Daredevil, and Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Team Up. Come on, I mean, sure, it became over time. Bendis became, unfortunately, the whole the Joss Whedon thing, like it's all Whedon speak now, and it's all Bendis bubbles now. And comics have always been full of there have been plenty of comics full of dialogue. Seriously, but check out these covers. They're all based upon famous movies. That's Field of Dreams. That's the Goonies things. I love movie poster parodies. These are great. This is the Blues Brothers. Oh, that's right. He's got a brother, right? This is from E.T. I don't know this one. Does anyone know what this movie would be? I said and Forrest Gump, when he finally gets his mom or something. Seriously, once again, sometimes you just buy a bunch of comic books, you bag them, you board them, and you kind of you read them once, and you don't read them again. And that's so. That would be something I would probably want to, bundle up and, sell to someone else. Like, hey, you a Mark Millar fan? Let's look up Huck real quick. To the book. H-U. Give a Huck. Give a hoot. Don't pollute. Plant a tree today. I like to smoke them. But they go hand in hand. You need to plant trees in order to smoke them. Ah, Huck. Hulk, Huck, Olberry, Image Comics. Yeah, $3.50, $4. Yeah, if it's a 9.2, it keeps its cover price. So, it's a bundle, like 6 issues. Again, probably bundle them up and sell them for, maybe $20 or so. Yeah, it's got the little, you get some dingage. I can see it on the paper. What is that called? Anyone who knows their dings, who knows how to grade comics, I'm gonna look it up in this book. I can do that too. Yeah, so I'm gonna look that up. Like, what is that? What kind of ding is that? How do I specify this ding? Oh gosh, I'm full of song today. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. God bless, namaste, good luck. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. Click on those notifications, ring that bell, subscribe today. We make daily content. We just hang out for a couple of minutes every day and we talk about comic books. Take our minds off our minds in our busy day. Now let's get back and run our business and not have our business run us. Let's run our moods and not have our moods run us. Let's run our emotions. Let's run our duties and not have these things run us. Let's be in charge. And thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. We make daily content here, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Did I say daily? Daily. Ha ha. Join us. Cheers. Bye-bye.